Okay, so as a few of you may know, I am not going for the traditional 6-dial dash on the Capri project. I had originally bought this for the Escort, but temptations got the better of me and I decided that it was going to be used in the Capri and get another one for the Escort whenever it's ready. The plan for mounting it, I've been thinking about this for a couple of months, wondering how I'm going to get it to look sort of half factory really. The plan that I come up with involved a 3D printer. So I designed and printed this bezel for the dash, and this is going to sit here ish. I need to get this chopped in the middle here to allow for the connectors on the back of the dash to go through. I'm not too worried about cutting this one because it's already been cut for a radio. The one that came out of my red car was uncut, but this car isn't exactly standard, so I'm not too worried about an unstandard looking dash fascia. The plan is to mark out, I need to cut basically below that indicator line and at the bottom of that indicator light. So I'll get those two chopped out. I'm going to need to buff back the lips as well, so this sits sort of down flush level with the lips on these. And then I can try to fit it with this all in to see how it's all going to fit together. So, time to get cracking, I suppose. With it sitting roughly in place, I don't need to be too precise because I have still got 20 or 30 mil to play with, but roughly need to cut this about there and around the bottom of that light. So I shall get the grinder fired up, get these chopped. Could be difficult to do with one hand, so I'll set this down for a moment. Move the dash away out of the road. Okay, the new slightly modified version should allow this hopefully to sit there, and will allow the dashboard then, in theory, whenever I get this wrestled into this support, I'll see how it's going to sit. Okay. You can see there from the back now, you've got plenty of room for the reversing camera input and for the two main harness plugs as well. I need to make a few alterations to this 3D print. This is a temporary one that I've done just to see if it all fits up. I intend to print another one with a couple of changes in it. The buttons, whenever I was designing those, I didn't do them high enough, as you might be able to see when they turn around to the light. They're sitting just a wee bit too low. I could fix that with a Dremel, but I will probably just do it right on CAD and reprint it for all the cost of the 3D print. And I'll probably do it at a finer quality. I rattled this one out at, I think it was 0.32, using PETG. So I'll probably still use PETG, but I will change it down to a smaller nozzle size or a finer print. As well as that, I've just noticed the corners on the print aren't perfect, so it's leading to it bowing in the middle. So I need to extend this slant on this side and this slant on this side. Along the top's pretty perfect. The curve down the side's pretty good, so it's just these two edges need swapped and the holes need raised a wee bit. So I'm going to do that later on and reprint it before I finally fit this up. But just to give you a bit of an idea how it's all going to fit and look. This is it. I'm intending to buff the rings off, or the remainder of the rings off the two big 6 or rev counter and speedo gauges, to let that sit down in flush with the vinyl. Then that means that hopefully I should be able to either blend it in or leave it as is, but it shouldn't look as prominent as it does at the moment. I'm tempted to wrap it with some sort of carbon fiber effect or some other sort of effect just to make it look a bit better, because 3D print, as much as it is very handy, doesn't leave a great finish. You see the lines and stuff on it, so yeah, might try fool a bit with that at some point, but this is just a bit of an update to show you exactly what I'm planning to do. Okay, so this is what the thing should look like whenever it's all finished. Obviously that'll be tidied up a wee bit more and it'll sit in tighter. It's just not sitting right the way it's propped up at the moment, but you just get the idea. 3D printers coming in very useful, I have to say. Need to refine the design, as I've already said. Reprint this out to fix the bottom curves and the button locations, although they are very nearly there. And try again, basically. All it costs is a couple of £1 in filament and a few hours of my time waiting on it to go, so might as well go again, try and get it perfect. Next step will be to turn it on and configure some of the parameters in the dash itself. Fairly excited about that. Some amount of features in the dash. You can see it's the road legal version, which has all the indicators on it there for your indicators, lights, fuel light, oil light, temperature light, stuff like that. Along the top there's a customizable shift lights. It can put up custom messages. You can do conditional alerts and stuff on it as well, that if the fuel drops below 20% you put on an amber light, then if it drops below 10% you put on a red light, flashes. You can do all that. Same with your oil pressure, your coolant temperature, custom messages and stuff you can put up. You can configure the existing loom feeds for your indicators, for your headlight indicators and stuff, to control the lights here. So if your dip beam goes on, the green light, you can turn that to whatever colour you want, but say you put it as green light for that, then blue light for full beam. So it makes it fully IVA compliant as well. The setting up of it is quite complicated, I will add, but once you get the hang of it, it's quite intuitive to use. Looking forward to getting it all set up to see exactly how much it can do. It interacts with my Emerald ECU on the Emerald generic CAN protocol, and I can then just instantly put all of the stuff that the ECU sees straight onto the dash. So the likes of your battery voltage, your coolant temperatures, your revs, all that can all go across. Just a wee quick video to show you a few of the toys on the AIM dashboard that I have. This is it sitting in its base configuration. Well, base configuration on the laptop. It's not plugged into the car yet. So I'm going to just simulate a few values to show you some of the features on it. I've set up a couple of alarm stuff on it. So the one I'm playing with at the minute is the fuel gauge. I'll be ordering a new VDO fuel gauge for the Capri and the Escort 2 probably whenever it comes, and they're kind enough to give me the resistance values, etc. So the test I'm going to do here now, I can manually input the channel value, so I can manually input how much fuel's in the tank. Basically at the moment I have it at 50 litres, which is full, well, near enough full. I've set up a couple of stages of alarms and stuff, so if I set it down to 19 litres, I've set 2 alarms up, one for 20 litres for amber and one for 10 litres, which is you need to get fuel. So if I put it down to 19 litres, it brings on the amber fuel light and puts on the fuel level low symbol on the dash. If I still haven't managed to get fuel 10 litres later, and I put it down to below 10 litres, then it starts to blink red at me and gives me a stricter warning. I think I actually can put that up full screen as well, not just the wee banner at the bottom. So we'll take that back off, put it back up to 50 litres. Another cool feature in this here is the ability to know what gear you're in depending on the RPM and speed that you're doing, because you can manually put in the gear ratios of your both every gear in your gearbox and the diff, the final drive. So just to test that out, I can input the RPM, so we'll force the channel value, we'll stick it at 4,500 revs. We will change the road speed to say 65 miles per hour. It now says that we are in 3rd gear. So if I change the road speed to 85, it says I'm in 4th gear. If I go down to 30 and change the revs to say 7,000, you can see I'm in 1st gear. I'm near the end of my limit. The rev limiter has come on. It's not, it's set in stages, so if I was to fire, I think it's 5.5 it comes on at potentially, or 5.4. So 5,400, it starts to say I need to shift soon. If I put it to 5,600, another one comes on, so on and so forth. Put it up, say, to 6,600. It's quite a bit further up, and if I put that right up to 8,000, it tells me I'm really going for it here. In 1st gear, 30 mile an hour, 8,000 revs. So that's a bit of an overview of that. Yeah, just an introduction really to show you exactly what I'm thinking for the interior. I had debated this for quite some time, but I'm glad now I've finally plucked up the courage to cut into a dashboard and start this wee project. Only downside is now I have to buy another one of these flaming things for the Escort. But sure, race cars are never cheap. Anyway, thanks for watching. As usual, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. And don't forget to hit the wee bell and subscribe button and like and share. Bye.